Hey boys and girls, just to let you guys know that I'm gonna cut my introducing for this video. So anyway, so for some reason, boys and girls, that I just thought it's a good idea to talk about this because you can obviously tell by the title of this video, and yet it's just sometimes like to like get out the way, and also it needs to be heard. Yeah, that's it. So the point is, boys and girls, sometimes bullying isn't always a nice thing because I mean I know we all mean well, and we may have our moments, but it doesn't always excuse for how we all overreact or how we respond back or how we behave towards to another on online or in real life. It just depends on whatever the situation you're in. But I'm still going to talk about some things to everyone in general by talking this through. And like I said, I know we all mean well, but sometimes we just have to learn for the better. And sometimes we can't just keep going and making like lame and boring excuses. It just ain't worth it. I mean, I do get that it's okay to defend yourselves, and I do understand that. But there are some moments that we can't always defend ourselves when there's someone else who gets bullied. Because, I mean, where can I put this? Like, when you think that someone is bullying you, even though they weren't trying to, when they're trying to give you constructive criticism, but that doesn't always mean they're trying to be mean to you. Sometimes you just got to learn to accept their criticism no matter how you feel. Because I started to realize that no matter how I felt, sometimes it's best to listen to others instead of your own all the time. Because sometimes it just you just gotta make things worse for yourself and not just for them. So don't get me wrong. So, well, hear me out, boys and girls. Okay, like I said, I'm not here to upset anyone or anything like that. And I can promise you that I'm only doing this for your own good. And if you ever feel like that in real life, aside from online, then it's okay. It's okay to how you feel sometimes, and trust me on this. So yeah, and also, um, but no matter how many times we're going to believe in our own criticism or anything like that. Sometimes we just got to understand the others by listening to their side of the story and not just focusing on your own. Because the point is, like you're ignoring the fact that you're not even listening the whole point of someone else's views, and you just think the more of yourself instead of listening to others. If you get what I mean. Uh-huh. And when someone give you advice about ignoring people who's bullying you or whatever, it's best just to ignore. And I do get it can be hard, and I do get it because I get that feeling too. And every time you try to get those bullies to leave you alone, you can't always tell those who picks on you to leave you alone all the time, because the more you do that, the more they're just gonna give you the feedback. But like I said, giving a feedback to others just because they pick on you, it doesn't always mean it's a good thing. And I do understand that you're trying to defend yourself, but still, you just got to face the consequence on your actions and don't take it too serious all the time, because sometimes people may take you too far on on whatever the situation that whoever you guys are in. I mean, I know the feeling, and I do understand. So, and like I said, I'm doing this this video for everyone's sake, not just mine. It's for everyone who needs. So yeah. So what's the point on arguing with someone that you don't know? Like really? Like come on. Do you really think that keep arguing with someone that you don't even know online just because of whatever the situation that you're arguing about? No, it's just pathetic. But I do understand your point of view, but sometimes you just got to face the reality, no matter how you see it in your own point of view. So you just got to realize that, boys and girls. But sometimes it's good thing to listen. Yeah, yeah. So don't get me wrong. Well, just forget about that, guys. Why can't we just forget about the drama? Have a nice day without fighting all the time. Because every every time you're trying to fight with someone that you don't know online, like you, because they're just a stranger to you. And believe me or not, I know you may have friends on YouTube or whatever, and I do understand that you feel close to them. But I'm still stating the personal facts by saying that you may be friends with them online or YouTube, but they're still strangers to you. And that will be the same thing for me. Because I may know you on YouTube or Instagram, but I still don't know you, like, really. And yet, that's also the point about people might pretend to be someone else. Like when it comes to, relationships or whatever. And I do understand some of you might like having this sort of thing about crushing on each other online. I do understand that. And every time when you thought someone is your friend, but but, but in the next it turns out to be someone that they're not really your friend, they're just trying to use you or whatever. And and sometimes you just got to be careful on who you're talking to and who you're dealing with or whatever, because sometimes you don't know them like really, like in real life. So yeah. When you thought someone betrayed you just because they were trying to support someone on the situation that you are in and the other as well, it doesn't mean they're actually betraying you. It's not always true, to remind you. So let me get to the point that it's okay to feel like that sometimes, but most of the time you need to be careful and be cautious before you could make such assumptions or accusations about someone that you thought that they did something wrong, even though it turns out they didn't. Let me let me remind you, everyone, that no matter how you're gonna say or feel, or the words that we use, hate, well, that's the strongest word that we could ever use. You should never use a word, whatever excuse. So yeah. if you have disagreement, it's fine, and I can't possibly blame you for keep carrying on. You're just gonna make things worse than you think. If anyone has a problem with you or trying to whatever excuse they have to come up with for their reasons to why they don't like you or jealous or whatever the problem is, well, I just say to you, don't acknowledge them. Never at all. And if they're still bothering you, then it's best to block them for good. No matter how many times they're gonna come back, having a new account, just keep on blocking them. So, like I said, if you have a problem with someone or anybody, just don't take them too serious or too far. Because the more you do that, the more you're gonna bother them or trying to make them feel bad for you to feel good about yourself. Because that ain't healthy whatsoever. If people has different opinions compared to you, It's up to them. If you don't like other people having different opinions to you, then you just got to learn to deal with it and just and accept it no matter how you feel or what you're saying. Because the more you're gonna bother people about that, the more it will sound like you're bashing them, and it will make people feel bad. Yeah, you just gotta be careful on what you got to say um, to whoever online or in real life, because sometimes you don't even know who are you dealing with or what you're dealing with. Sometimes people can be hypocrites. Yeah, because if you know what the word hypocrite means, then you may find the picture or the obvious. Okay, but let's just me explain. The word hypocrite, well, it actually means autism. Well, I do get people may want to use the word autism for whatever reason, um, to justify their actions or whatever. But using your condition or whatever, that doesn't always justify anything to to solve your problems just because you're defending yourself. Because what's the point on defending yourself by using the word autism? How about when someone accuses you for something that you didn't do? Or sometimes that you may have done even though you just didn't realize that. Yeah, it just depends on really. Yeah, you can't always going constantly going on by saying by giving them the constructive criticism. And so instead of giving people lecture or giving them the constructive criticism, as in like giving them advice about something, sometimes it's okay to do that sometimes, but most of the time, you just need to accept that not many people will accept it because sometimes people can't always change. And whatever the problem is, you can't always go and judge others for something, even though you can maybe do the same thing too. Because that just makes yourself a hypocrite, a bad person. Yeah, I just hope you all can understand my personal point of views. And if anyone has any agreements or disagreements, it's fine. And if you ever feel insecure about this whole bullying or whatever that you don't like about yourself, but that doesn't always mean you should take it out on everyone else, really, because the more you do that, it's just gonna affect someone. I mean, you may gonna say or think like you're the only one who can be affected with all the negativity. No, of course not. You're not the only one. You'll never be alone. If you want support, you should be patient with people who will support you and just try your best to learn for the better. Sometimes it's okay to how you feel, sometimes, but most of the time we just sometimes need to put our feelings aside and focus on other people's feelings as much as we think about our own. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And when I said about if you ever feel alone, you will never be alone because you have family, friends, and everyone who loves you that will be there for you when you need it. Yeah, so that's my whole point. And if you ever need any help when it comes to the bullying or you're feeling depressed about something or whatever that's been bothering you or whatever from the past or recently, it's totally fine. But always go to your parents or teachers or something like that, or go to your friends or your siblings. Just go to them instead of choose to decide to become a horrible person and then pick on someone that you don't know, and don't blame someone for your own personal troubles. Yeah. So Like I said, don't take your anger out of anyone just because you're depressed or you've been bullied or something like that. And just because someone is feeling upset, it doesn't mean you should always have the right to pick on them, because that just make you bad person for judging people when they're upset or being sensitive or something like that. You shouldn't mutilate someone just because they have feelings about something, because it doesn't feel right. No. So maybe it's best to suggest you to think before you could respond to someone when they're upset about something. If you're gonna think something negative, that's what I mean. But if you got something nice to say or something, then that's fine. But if it's negative, then keep it to yourself. I just hope you all can understand my personal point of views. And if anyone has any agreements or disagreements, it's fine. And I can't possibly argue with this with anyone or ever. So anyway, I just hope you all have a nice day, have a nice time. And if you wanted to comment, then fine, it's up to you. So I'll leave you all to it and have a wonderful time. Well, good luck and goodbye.